Hey, good morning, everybody. Hope you're having a fantastic day. It's Rental Robert with the Hustle Nation. We are all about some financial independence and getting to the point where we have that FU money. So I just want everybody to operate in abundance and prosperity. I know things are really starting to change, having to do with the economy. I see it, the vast majority of my income is from owning rental properties. And I've had tenants in the past that were, paying a week early, and now they're waiting to the last day before they have to pay the full price on rent. So things are definitely changing. And I had one lady that said, "Oh, I'm having to work a double today. I'll get it in first thing in the morning." And so by her doing that, it's going to end up costing her either an eviction or $400 that she would not have had to pay if she had gone ahead and set up her finances to where she the money automatically went into the checking account. So it's just kind of wild how people's financial habits do things of that nature. And, when I sit there and I look at, for lack of better words, why it is we do the things we do, and I look at, okay, if you choose not to, we'll say, get bills put on auto pay or something of that nature. There's a safety and security with holding on to money when a person has it. And, one of the things that, when I had my small store that became very apparent is that, like with people that smoke, okay, the chance of someone quitting once they've started and got the habit is not real good, okay? And so for lack of better words, I know me personally, I know I was smoking. When I smoked cigarettes, I was smoking yesterday, I'm gonna be smoking today, and I'm gonna be smoking tomorrow as well, okay? And other people are like that also, but guess what? They won't go and buy a carton and get them at the cheaper price. They buy them by the pack. And they pay the higher price. But guess what? I get to hold on to my money. And so there's a safety and a security just in case I'm going to go and do something else. But I guarantee this, when I was a smoker, I wasn't doing anything else. I had cigarettes, okay? Before anything else, I had smokes even if I didn't have food. I was having cigarettes, all right? And so the thing is that a lot of times, people put themselves in bad situations because they want to hang on to that safety and security, okay? And it's like, when rents due this month, next month, and 20 years from now, first through the third. That's all there is to it, first through the third, okay? But a lot of people, and it's usually always the same ones that want to put it off to the very last minute. And normally they will be the ones that end up paying the higher amount. And when I say that, I say this is like, if rent is $1,300 a month, then the way my lease words is that your rent is $1,700 a month, but it's discounted to $1,300 a month if you pay the first through the third. So if you choose not to, then on the fourth day, it automatically is the full $1,700, and then I serve the 3-day notice for the eviction. And so I'll be serving one of those today. So then the situation becomes, and I have to ask myself these things. And I was talking with a person that has been saying they really want to get their house done. They've got a property that's been sitting for a number of years. They want to get it done, make it nice so they can move into it. Enjoy that piece of property and live there. Well, they say that, but they keep going and doing other things. And, and it's just, for lack of better words, their want with getting that property finished is not great enough than their desire to make others happy by saying, yes, I'll go do that, and the enjoyment or pleasure that comes from whatever activity it is. And I have to sit there and ask myself, what is it that you're doing in your life? And so one of the things that I'd realized is that I've been looking, because I have 5 properties that are sitting. I bought them as fixer-uppers, and I looked at, you know, how it is that I'm working, so to speak. And what I came to the conclusion of, and what I am doing now, is at the very minimum, I'm putting in 7 hours a day, Monday and Tuesday. Wednesday, if I have any estimates to do, if I got any running around, if I have any lunch appointments, they're getting pushed to Wednesday. If I got to jockey any dump trailers around back and forth, anything of that nature, then that's what happens on Wednesdays. But otherwise, I'm putting in a minimum of 7 hours, and I'll be at the job at, 5:50, get started. Carla, my associate, she shows up at 6. We'll get the ball rolling. And if I have to do any running around, getting materials or anything like that, then that happens later on after 4 p.m. And so then the thing is that, like yesterday, I ended up having to do a little bit of running around before I got my 7 hours in and everything. But I ended up leaving the house at 7. And so I put in my time. The other thing is that I got a bad habit of waking up and I keep hitting the snooze bar. And sometimes I lose 30 minutes, sometimes I lose an hour by staying in bed. And this morning, no, that did not happen. And so that's another thing that I'm changing, that habit right there. And the thing is that I kept saying and looking at it and saying, man, you got all these houses and everything. Holy smokes, holy smokes. Well, I sat there and I looked at it, and it's like, if we only take 90 days on each one of them in a year and a half or less, we're going to be done. And it really changed my perspective on how I talk to myself, in the sense that this is not, climbing Mount Fuji. This is going to be fairly easy. And so, whew, sorry about that. And so just in the manner how we talk to ourselves has got a tremendous bearing on what it is that we do. And so, right now we do make enough money to be able to pay me, pay Carla, and pay another person, okay? But then it chokes the business, and that doesn't need to happen. We're in the process of doing a rehab on one of the properties that I'm doing owner finance on. And when you end up doing something of that nature, it's usually, fairly expensive. Each week, it seems like it's minimum $1,500 a week in materials that you buy from Home Depot or Lowe's or wherever you go. And so, it's just being, and it is an expensive time. 2 months ago, we took basically a month and a half off of working on my stuff, or didn't do anything that cost big money to keep expenses down. And I hit a financial goal. And, once that happened, now it's okay for us to start going and doing some other stuff and whatnot. But I mean, it costs a lot of money, and then you have situations where, like, somebody doesn't pay the rent, and so that's even less money that's come in or everything. So, it just goes back and forth. But, reach out to me every now and then and ask me and say, hey, man, how's it going with, you working every day like that and whatnot? Because a lot of times I would be hustling jobs and trying to get roof estimates or go sell some roofs to some folks and things of that nature. It's never, or it's not that it's never, but it's a situation where I need to be working. That my labor needs to be put into the business so that we can get these 5 properties up and going as soon as possible. And guess what? Once this is done, and the house that I'm rehabbing and going to sell, once that's completed, we're coming to my house. We are going to do my house. My house is the typical, the mechanic drives the crappiest car, the cobbler's kids have the worst shoes. Well, my house is not bad or anything like that. It's quite livable, but I've had it for 22 years and I've never done anything to it, except for when I first got it, me and my dad rewired it. I had central heat and air put in. A second bathroom was added a couple years ago. And it's like in the master bedroom, there's a At the facing the backyard, there was a double window, and 15 years ago, we cut it with a demo saw, put a set of French doors in. You know, you're gonna put a deck back there with a hot tub right outside the door. There's still never been a deck built. And even 2.5, 3 years ago, there was a double window in the kitchen, and cut the brick, put a set of French doors, and still no deck. So that deck's getting built. That's going to happen this year. My house, I want a place that when I come home, it's beautiful, it's nice. I want to invite people over, and it will be a showcase of, hey, this is what we can really do, you know. A lot of my rental properties are in much better shape and nicer, newer, up-to-date than my house is. And that's going to stop. So I'm going to have a nice place, and that's what I want. Working with an accountability coach, found out that I was not living in alignment with some of my values. And I do value a place that's nice, that is up to date, that looks real good, that has modern, you know, appliances and everything. And I give you an example is, I think it was 6 months ago. Well, a few years back, I moved, the washer and dryer was set in the garage. So you had to go outside, walk to the backyard to wash your clothes and then bring them in. And moved the washer dryer hookup into the hallway. And so you didn't have to go outside. Well, that was cool and it worked. We did it quickly. And the way that it was a stacker unit from like an apartment, and the way that it sat in there was kind of cockeyed. It served the purpose, but it really didn't look good. And I went ahead and said, you know what? We're going to put this on the schedule. We're going to make the hookups nice. We're going to put them in the wall, do them professionally and everything. Took us 3 days. And then I went out and bought a brand new set, full-size stacker, washer and dryer. That was the first time I'd ever bought brand new appliances in my life, for me. I bought brand new appliances and put them in rental properties, but that's the first time I ever bought brand new appliances for me. So this is why I work as hard as I do, so I can enjoy some nice things when I want to. So I am having to look at how much difference there is between my self-confidence and my self-worth. And those are two very different things. So got a lot of changes going on. Hope you have a fantastic day. I appreciate you watching. I appreciate the likes. I appreciate the comments and everything like that. Also, if you'd like 15 minutes of my time, there's an email address in the description. Send me an email and send me a phone number to call you at. That's very important. And you get 15 minutes of my time absolutely free. I hope you have a very wonderful day. Be blessed, be productive, and be profitable.